Stop, take a breath. Feel how your mind wants to sprint ahead anyway, how it drags you by the collar into the next worry, the next tab, the next buzzing notification. What if the very thing hauling you around is not life's urgency, but a runaway horse made of habit? And what if you could rein it in calmly, clearly, right now? There's an old Zen story. A man gallops down the road on a fast horse. Another calls out, "Where are you going?" The rider shouts back, "I don't know, ask the horse." That is our life when we're propelled by habit energy. We're moving, always moving, but not truly choosing where. The horse charges, and we, clinging to the saddle, confuse speed with meaning. You've felt it. The moment you wake, your thumb already knows the path. Unlock, scroll, consume. You pour tea and taste none of it. You sit with someone you love, yet drift into yesterday's regret or tomorrow's imagined argument. You walk without walking, eat without eating, breathe without breathing. The habit horse pulls hard, and we obey without noticing. But we can learn the art of stopping, not in a dramatic, life-pausing way, but in a gentle, precise way. Stop the mind spin, stop feeding the horse, and step down onto the ground of the present moment. Thich Nhat Hanh taught that calm is not a luxury, it is a skill. And like all skills, it can be trained through simple practices, mindful breathing, mindful walking, and the kind of deep contemplation that sees into the heart of things. When we really pay attention to what is happening in us and around us, understanding begins to rise like a soft light. Acceptance follows. Love becomes practical. The wish to relieve suffering, our own and others, feels less like an idea and more like a natural impulse. Joy, which once felt so far, steps closer the way dawn steps into night without fanfare. But first, we must learn to stop when the storm comes. Because emotions do not knock politely. They arrive like weather, sudden wind, heavy rain, lightning across the ribs. Acting in the middle of that storm can cause damage we later regret. We know this, yet we're pulled by the gusts anyway. The practice begins when we pause. Make it simple. Inhale and know you are inhaling. Exhale and know you are exhaling. If you can, place one hand on your belly and one on your heart. When you breathe in, feel the belly rise. When you breathe out, feel it fall. Let the out-breath be just a little longer than the in-breath, like a wave that takes a little more sand with it on the way back out. Already the horse slows. Already the storm notices a tree too rooted to toss. Thich Nhat Hanh offered a skillful map in 5 stages: recognition, acceptance, embracing, deep looking, and insight. These are not abstract ideas. They're practical steps, as tangible as turning a doorknob or sipping warm tea. When used gently, steadily, they calm the body and mind, returning choice to our hands. First, recognition. If anger is present, say quietly inside, "There is anger in me." If fear is present, there is fear in me. If confusion, sadness, jealousy, disappointment, name it, this is here. Recognition is simple but radical. Most of us either merge with the emotion, "I am anger," or pretend it is not there at all. Recognition does neither. It creates a little space. An emotion is passing through me and I am here with it. The words you whisper are like turning on a small lamp in a dark room. You already see more than you did a moment ago. Second, acceptance. Do not shove the emotion away or argue with reality. There is anger in me. There is fear here. This is what is present. Acceptance is not surrender to harmful behavior, nor is it approval of what hurts us. It's simply honesty. If a storm is overhead, denying the clouds won't keep you dry. In acceptance, you stop wasting strength pretending it's sunny, and you begin to take care of what is real. If your heart is pounding, let it pound. If your face flushes, let it flush. Feel the edges of the emotion without adding the extra story that says, "I shouldn't feel this." That extra story is gasoline on the fire. Third, embracing. Imagine a mother with a crying child. She does not lecture the baby about self-control. She does not throw the baby out of the house. She gathers the crying one to her chest. So too with your anger, your fear, your grief. Inhale and silently say, breathing in, I am aware of my emotion. Exhale, breathing out, I hold it with tenderness. You can even say, dear anger, I know you are here. I am here for you. The very act of mindful attention is like a soft hand on a trembling shoulder. Your nervous system hears, you are safe enough to feel this. When you embrace the feeling, neurochemistry begins to shift. The wave that seemed to be cresting forever starts to break and slide back out. A practical tip. As you embrace, let your exhale lengthen. Try a gentle rhythm, like 4 counts in, 6 or 7 counts out. Feel your feet. Unclench your jaw. Soften the belly. If you can, place your palm over the part of your body where the emotion lives most strongly, chest, throat, gut, and feel the warmth of your hand. Embracing is physical, not just mental. It is the body saying to the body, I'm with you. 4th, deep looking. Only now, as the waters settle, can we see into their depths. What caused this suffering? Perhaps it's obvious. A harsh tone from a friend, a sharp email, a memory triggered. But look deeper. Are you hungry, exhausted, overstimulated by screens, carrying an old wound that today's event just pressed on? Sometimes the baby cries because a pin is poking the skin. Sometimes it cries because it is simply tired. Sometimes our anger flares at a stranger, and then we remember their father is ill. They have been sleeping poorly. They are scared too. Deep looking is not to excuse harm, but to understand causes and conditions, primary and secondary. This person spoke harshly, yes, and inside me there is a history that intensifies it. I want something to be different, and reality is not obeying me. Or perhaps I have not rested, not eaten, not moved my body. Without deep looking, we act on guesses. With it, we act on insight. Deep looking can be done sitting quietly or while walking slowly. Take a few steps, feel each foot touch the earth. In your mind, compose a gentle question. Dear anger, what are you trying to protect? Dear fear, what are you afraid will happen? Then listen. The answers may come as words, images, or a soft understanding without language. If nothing arises, it's okay. Continue to hold the emotion like the baby it is. Understanding ripens on its own timeline. 5th, insight. Insight is the fruit of the looking. It's the moment the knot's pattern becomes visible. Maybe you see that your anger spikes every time you're already ashamed, and the shade of shame tries to hide itself beneath the heat of anger. Maybe you realize the person who snapped at you is drowning in their own storm, and your best action today is not to add to it. Maybe you notice, with a gentle smile, that what you needed all along was a glass of water, a 10-minute walk, and a sincere message that says, when you're ready, I'd like to talk about what happened. Insight doesn't always tell you to do something. Sometimes it tells you to stop, to wait, to rest, to choose words later when the sky is clear. Let's practice together for a moment. Inhale slowly and think. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Exhale slowly and think. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Again. Inhale body, exhale relax. Inhale I arrive, exhale I am home. If you're walking as you listen, let your steps match your breath. Step, I am here. Step, I am here. Notice how even 2 or 3 mindful breaths shift the quality of your mind. The horse paces, then slows. The reins come back into your hands. We are not machines. We are living beings, and our attention is a living thing. When we water seeds of presence, by noticing a cup's warmth in our palm, the scent of rain on the street, the rhythm of our steps, we are training the mind to dwell where life actually happens, here. The present moment is not a small box, it is vast. In it, We can see the past clearly and prepare the future wisely, but we do not leave the ground we stand on. The television can be off or on, the book can be open or closed, the tea can be full or empty. What matters is whether we are awake enough to know what we are doing and why. For many of us, agitation has become the baseline. Restlessness is the wallpaper we no longer notice. We reach for something, change our mind, reach for something else. The discomfort beneath the reaching never gets a chance to speak. The practice of stopping gives it that chance. Curiously, when we stop, we discover we are not the storm, we are the sky. The storm is real and temporary. The sky holds it without fear. Thich Nhat Hanh often used the image of a rooted oak in wind. Be that oak. When the gusts rise, feel your feet, feel your breath, feel your spine. Do not be blown from one story to the next. Midway through this, I want to ask you, which habit horse pulls you the hardest? The constant urge to check your phone, the replaying of old conversations, the fear of missing out. Share it in the comments. Naming it is the first step to taming it. And if this practice is helping you, gently tap like and subscribe. Not as a dopamine hit, but as a small commitment to keep returning to what matters, calm, clarity, and a kinder way to live. Now, let's apply the 5 stages to a common scene. You receive a text from a friend. Short, blunt, colder than usual. Instantly heat rises in your chest. Your mind fabricates an entire courtroom. What they said last week, what you should have said, the opening line of your reply. Sharp, clever, punishing, stop, breathe. Recognition, there is anger, there is hurt. Acceptance, it's here. I don't love it, but it's here. Embracing, place a hand on your chest. Dear hurt, I'm with you. Dear anger, I see you. Exhale a little longer. Deep looking. What else is present? Did you sleep? Have you been lonely? Does this tone echo something older? What might be happening for them? Insight. Not texting back right now might be the kindest choice. Perhaps later, when the body is calm, you can write, I felt stung by your message. Are you okay? I care about you. This is not weakness. It is strength guided by understanding. Or consider this. You feel the fog of despair on a quiet afternoon, the sense that nothing is promising. Before, you would turn on a screen and drown it. Now you pause. Recognition. Sadness is here. Acceptance. This is present. Embracing. You sit by the window with a blanket and breathe, as if holding a small, weary child. Deep looking. You notice you haven't been outside in days. You remember the news you read this morning, so much suffering that your heart absorbed without processing. Insight. You put on shoes and step out, walking slowly, feeling each footfall. You do not force joy. You allow air and light to do their gentle work. This is how walking becomes medicine. Each step says, I arrive, I arrive. When your mind skips forward, bring it back with the foot that touches the ground now. When your mind drifts backward, bring it back with the breath that moves now. You are training a young animal, not scolding a criminal. Be patient and firm. The horse doesn't become gentle in one day, but it does learn to trust the rider who is kind and consistent. And tea, let it teach you. When you lift the cup, feel the heat, the smoothness of the clay or glass. Watch steam like a ghost that rises and dissolves. Taste before you swallow. For once, let a humble sip be enough. In those seconds, you are not caught between past and future. You are exactly where life is. The miracle is not fireworks, it is presence. As you continue, you'll discover that recognizing and accepting your feelings resolves many conflicts before they ignite. When you can say to someone, I feel tense right now, and I want to understand what's underneath, you stop wrestling in the dark. When you can tell yourself, I'm angry and tired, I'll postpone this conversation, you save both parties from unnecessary harm. Understanding tells you what to do or not do. Sometimes it says speak, sometimes it says listen. Often it says wait until your inner weather is clear. Let's summarize the path, not as theory, but as a rhythm for your day. Recognize, accept, embrace, look deeply, realize, insight. You can move through these in moments, standing in a doorway before a meeting, pausing on a sidewalk as the light changes, taking 1 minute in a bathroom stall to place a hand on your heart and breathe. Little practices, repeated often, change the architecture of your mind. You become less reactive, more responsive, less thrown by wind, more like the oak. Some will say, I don't have time. But we are not adding hours. We are returning to seconds we already live and filling them with awareness. The present moment is the only time we can ever touch. The past we revisit is a memory in the present. The future we plan is imagination in the present. So train here, love here, decide here. The more you do, the more you notice a quiet joy that does not depend on everything going your way. It's the joy of being fully alive while doing something as simple as washing a spoon. If you've tried before and felt like you failed, good news, noticing that you've drifted is the practice. Each time you wake up from distraction and return to your breath, you are strengthening a muscle, not losing a battle. The mind that wanders is not a problem. It's the mind that can be trained, and training it with kindness is the way. May your horse learn to walk at your pace. May your storms reveal the sky they travel through. May your breath carry you back again and again to the only place your life is happening. Remember, cultivating awareness grows wisdom. Neglecting it leaves us stuck in confusion. Learn what leads you forward and what holds you back, and choose, step by step, the path that brings clarity, compassion, and freedom home.